Happy New Year, fellow CNCers. Now that you have your handy dandy whiskey smoker from my last video, if you don't, I'll link it in the description, don't worry. What's the next step? Well, for whiskey and bourbon connoisseurs, a lot of us like cigars. Not everybody likes cigars, but I can guarantee you if you know somebody who likes whiskey and bourbon, you know somebody who likes a good cigar with it. So what I've done here is a nice little kind of groovy retro style ashtray for your cigars. It's kind of neat. You rest your cigar down here and it kind of just rolls in. It's not going to go anywhere. This particular one is made out of 2 layers of maple glued together, and then just use some CNC toolpaths to route out the shape. I use what's called a molding toolpath for these kind of angle shapes right here, and then just a pocket toolpath for the area that holds the ashes. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through that with you, and of course the file is going to be available on my Etsy store with a discount. Of course, there's always a discount for my YouTube subscribers. I'll reveal that at the end of the video. Anyway, what you're going to need to start with is a blank. This is a blank I've got using 2 layers of walnut. Simply glued them together. They got to be square, that's the key. So you have to have equal dimensions this way and this way. Dimensions don't really matter as long as it's a square as far as the file goes, because you can adjust the file to suit whatever size of blank you're going to have. So again, just make sure that you've got 2 layers. These ones are about just over 3/4 of an inch. This was rough milled lumber, so it was about 1 inch to start with. The depth doesn't matter. The file will make sure that it works as long as you don't punch through the bottom. Anyway, let's get started. I just realized, full disclaimer, you probably shouldn't be drinking alcohol while CNCing. Not a good idea, so please don't do that.
I'm sober enough to know what I'm doing, and I'm drunk enough to really enjoy doing it.
Okay, let's take a closer look at the actual ashtray here. Like I said, we've got some angled pieces right here, and that's done with a molding toolpath. The idea here was, you just put your cigar down there, it kind of rolls, and it's not going to go anywhere. And nice pocket. This one here, what I did after I did the pocket is and finished the ashtray off is I just rubbed ashes along the outside edges, and it darkens it up, and I think provides a little bit of protection so that the wood doesn't burn. And the finish on this is good old trusty mineral oil. So pretty simple. As far as dimensions go, the old one had a square of about 4 3/4, and the new one, I think it's 6 by 6. Yeah, 6 inches by 6 inches. And for reference, it is about 2 inches thick. So these were 1-inch pieces. You can actually get away with 3/4 inch. All you need to do is make sure that when you're doing your pocket toolpath, you make it so that it's less than, if you had 2 3/4 inch pieces, you'd make it so that it's less than 1.5 inches thick. I'd make sure you leave yourself at least 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. So the Onefinity CNC is all fired up and ready to go. I had a couple of people reach out and ask me some questions about this. It is a Onefinity CNC. It's the X50 Journeyman. Fantastic CNC, guys. I don't have any experience with other CNC machines. This was the first one I ever got, but I can tell you that it's built like a brick shithouse. It's reliable. I've never had anything go wrong with it in about almost 3 years of use. As long as you maintain it regularly, it's been awesome. So a lot of other great machines out there. There's the Long Mill, the X-Carve, etc. So whatever you're using, you can do this project, but just have to give a shout out to Onefinity CNC because this thing is absolutely fantastic. So I've got my project here all set up. In the project file, the origin is set to the middle. You can change that if you like. I've just always done it that way. It works great for me. Again, change it if you want to. The bits that are required are, there's just 2 bits. There is a down cut end mill, 1/4 inch, and there is a 1/4 inch ball nose. This happens to be just sort of some cheap Chinese bit. This is from Freud. This is another great one, which I'm actually going to be using. This is from Cadence CNC Manufacturing. Nice and gold looking. Anyway, this one does a great job. Super sharp. All right, let's go. And just for you guys, because I appreciate this when I watch CNC work on the interwebs, I'm going to not do any vacuuming of the chips. I am going to leave the dust boot off because that way you get a better and clearer picture of what's going on. Probe my Z here, and there we go. And I'll see if I can give you guys a slightly better angle on this. I also have this really cool little LED light that I put on. I bought the light off of Amazon. I think it was around $10. And then I 3D printed this shroud, and it's just sort of connected up here to a 12-volt power source. What I'd like to know from you guys in the comments is this light distracting? Is that better? Or is that better for the purposes of video? For me, standing here with my existing lighting in the shop, this looks a lot better. But I found that maybe it looks better like that on video. Anyway, let me know. I'm going to leave it off because I think it does look actually a little bit better. That is a lot of dust. You can tell by the chips here. Where are we here? You can tell by the chips that I had the feeds and speeds set right. That's kind of like what you want your chips to look like. You don't want them too fine. You don't want them too much more coarse than that. At least that's what I've been told. Okay, that one's done. So the next step is to do a clearing set of tool paths. And we're going to continue to use the 1/4-inch end mill down cut. And what's going to happen here is it's going to go into the wood and prepare the block of wood or our stock so that we can get ready for our last tool path, which is going to be the ball nose. The feeds and speeds on this one are a little bit faster. I think they're about 100 inches per minute with about a 50 inch per minute plunge depth or plunge speed. Anyway, let's just get this going and we can talk about some more of the details later on. Okay, so that was the clearance tool path in preparation for bringing in our ball nose. What it's done basically is removed material at a depth where the ball nose is going to come in and make that angle swoop that we saw in the original piece that I showed you. You may have noticed that when we were coming through here to do our clearance path with the 1/4-inch end mill, we were basically cutting air as it was coming in here and here, etc. And I can't seem to figure out a way to get that to stop. Basically, the problem with it is it's adding more time to your carve, not a ton of more time, maybe a few minutes. But if there's anybody out there that's an expert in Vectric VCarve Pro in dealing with tool paths that would allow us to eliminate that, carving air, that would be great. Because the same thing is going to happen with the ball nose. You're going to see the ball nose coming in and coming into this open pocket and carving air, and that's just going to take more time. That's where you're going to lose the time on this thing. It might be an extra 2, 3, 5 minutes. I don't know. So there you go, guys. You've got a beautiful and functional ashtray for your cigars or anything else that happens to be legal in your area. So now that you know how to make your really cool cigar ashtray with the groovy molding Toolpath, head on over to my Etsy store and grab the file. It's available in Vectric VCarve Pro version 11. And here's the discount code, 20% off.
Spoken!
Make sure to share it with your friends and family. And guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm just trying to grow the channel, so I really do appreciate the view. Please remember to like and subscribe. If there's something you want me to make, leave it down in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Cheers.